Hi guys, what's up? It's Will here. Yeah, I'm back. I've had a little bit of time off, not to my own choosing, but I'm back here. I'm going to give you some quick picks. I am so sorry I missed out on last week's predictions. I've had a major problem with my Wi-Fi, which I think has been coming for a long time. Actually, I've kind of thought something was going on, and it was a major problem. So all the line had to get fixed. So I had no Wi-Fi until literally half an hour ago. So I'm just on here. I've not been able to watch fights because I've had no Wi-Fi to watch. I've been watching my phone bits and pieces here and there. So I've just come on here, guys, to give you just a couple of my quick thoughts regarding this card. And just apologies for missing out last week because that's the first time I missed a card in a very, very long time, and it kind of really annoyed me because I haven't missed one in years probably, but it is what it is. Life gets in the way, and I'm going to give you some picks here, guys. Just want to let you know things in the future might be changing. If you maybe follow me on Twitter, you may know that I kind of released some news about a week or so ago that I'm going to be a dad again. I've got another baby on its way, so I'm really looking forward to being a dad again. That's going to be coming. The little one's going to be coming in October. So, like I said, I'm still going to try and get content out for you. I'm still going to get my predictions every week if I can. But like I say, I can't really nail down a time when it's going to be. My good missus, she's been really, really ill. This has been a really tough pregnancy so far. She's been sick pretty constantly, so I've had to be there for the kid and run about when she was doing that beforehand. So yeah, I'm going to be a dad. Time constraints, it means I maybe have to take a little bit of a backseat to this, but I'm going to try my hardest to get predictions out there for you guys on a weekly basis. But like I say, this one here is really not going to be all too much because I've not been able to watch some fights for this card. I've got a bet already for the card on some of the fights that I have watched. But yeah, just to let you know that things are going to be changing a little bit. I'm still going to try and make it out there. I've had people message me saying, "Are you in the MMA huddle done?" I was like, no, but I am taking a back seat and only doing pay-per-views. And then I've had this trouble with Wi-Fi. So shit's been going down. Hopefully it's fixed. It's all rectified and I can kind of move forward. But like I say, I am going to try my hardest to get predictions out every week for you guys, regardless, even when the little one, the new baby comes later on this year. So yeah, like I say, this one here, it's going to be quick picks. I'm not going to spend a hell of a lot of your time there and just give you kind of some of my thoughts on some of the fights that I've kind of watched. But it's not all that many. I'll be completely honest with you guys there. Right. I can see some of you guys in the chat there. I hope you're all well. Call me Touch CMT. What's up, my man? Jason, what's up? Kiro, how you doing, my man? You kind of got in touch last week. Much appreciated. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Rogue Strummer, what's up? Right, like I say, my good man was saying there, let's kick this event. Early prelims are hard to predict. Well, Rashad, what's up, my man? What's up, Moise? Yeah, like I say, I've not been able to, I've had literally no Wi-Fi for the last nearly 10 days, actually. So I've not been able to watch nowhere near as many fights as I like to. On Sunday, I usually spam watching fights all day, but not had a hell of a lot of time to do this. I'm going to quickly, like these early prelims, geez, I've really got no clue regarding some of these Chinese fighters. And I was actually, before the kind of Wi-Fi went down, regarding this card, I was looking forward to kind of checking out these Chinese fighters, but like I say, I literally have no chance to watch. Kind of read up on some things and kind of going through there, but Na Liang against Ariana Carnelose, from what I read about this Liang there, I think that she's one of these girls that kind of likes to get the fight to the ground. She will happily like fall to her back to get the fight to the ground. And when you've got someone like Carnelose who's physically very strong, and she's in the past looked to get fights to the ground as well, I think it could be a fairly decent matchup for Carnelose if she can keep her gas throughout the fight. I've seen that Liang, I've not watched the fight. Like I said, I've not watched any of these early people's fights here. But from what I've seen, she fought Agapova, lost that one there. But from what I've kind of heard and kind of read a little bit, she's more like a submission-based fighter. So, like I say, I shouldn't really give you predictions, but I'll give you what I think. I think Carnelosi's physical pressure will probably be a little bit too much, and if she can last out a couple of rounds, I think it could be squirrely in some spots. She may get caught in maybe some attempted submissions, but I think she kind of wins out there. But like I say, all these early fights pretty much are all asterisk fights because I've not watched anything on these Chinese fighters. So, Quiling Iori against Jeffrey Molina. Now, I'm actually tempted to bet Jeffrey Molina for the simple reason. Now, I'm going to watch fights tonight. I'm going to watch this one specifically because it's minus 110 a piece, and I think, like I say, it's kind of different when you're watching fights to kind of reading up on fighters. And I've kind of asked a few guys regarding this guy. I actually got in touch with a guy who knows the head coach of the UFC PI in Shanghai, Dean Amarsinga, and he's telling me there's a kid you kind of have to keep an eye on. He's only 21 years old, got a lot of fights on his record already. But I think Jeffrey Molina coming from, I think it's Glory Kickboxing, I think he's a guy that we've seen progression with his game. When you watch it, I was never thoroughly impressed when I was watching his Contender Series fights before that, and on the regional scene. I think he's one of these guys that will start making improvements personally. But like I say, regarding this fight, I think I'm going to maybe make a play on Molina. But I need to watch some fights. Tonight I'm going to be watching fights. I'm going to bath this little one of mine, put her to bed, and I'm going to watch fights for the majority of the night. Kazula Vargas against Rong Zhu. This was one that, like I say, I've not been watching fights, but it's like this betting line, I'm thinking to myself, what, minus 250 for this guy and plus 210 is the comeback on Vargas? I'm like, what am I missing here? Like I say, you have to think that they're on a card with Wiley Zhang, and they're putting them there to maybe showcase them up. If they can get a couple of winners off here, they can easily take these guys back to China and build a card off these type of fighters and put them throughout a card. But Vargas, I mean, he made that bonehead decision against Brock Weaver where took the fight down and then decided to knee him in the head, and then kind of lost out in that one there when he was probably on his way to probably winning that fight no matter how long it had left. I think it was in the first round that happened. But I hear this Zhu Rong guy is actually a really exciting fighter, kind of blood and guts fighter, will come forward and will swing heavy bombs on you. But like I say, I'll go with the dude from, I think it's Mongolia, I actually think this guy's from. But Vargas, if he uses maybe a wrestling background or like a wrestling kind of game plan like he did against Brock Weaver, he could potentially win this fight and do that. But like I say, I don't think I'll be making any plays on like these type of fights. But the Molina one kind of jumps out to me a little bit more than others. Dana Batgirl against Kevin Natividad. I'm going to take Dana Batgirl just on being more active. I don't like the knockout loss that Natividad like what happened in his last fight. That was a nasty knockout. Batgirl, I think, can keep it up for at least a couple of rounds, avoid the big shots of Kevin, and kind of win out there. But the betting line for that also is minus 185. I don't want to be playing that for Dana Batgirl, but I'll sit back and watch and see what's going on with that. So I'll pick Batgirl as a prediction there. Pat Sabatini against Tristan Conley. Now, this guy, Tristan Conley, has gotten a lot of love this week. I literally went on Twitter like 20 minutes ago and I seen my boy MMA Kilt and they'd already bet him up, and there was pictures floating about on Twitter of him looking shredded, if I do say so, coming down from 170 to 135, 145 I should say. I don't like the fact that he's doing that, and it's been a long time since he's been down at that weight. He looks amazing. He looks in great physical condition. Sabatini was supposed to fight Rafael Alves, and he pulled out. That fight got cancelled after he was like weighed in 12 pounds north of what he should be. He's pretty much a whole weight class above. I like this Sabatini guy. I think that the bet line is a little bit high, I think, but when I see him, I think he's a better striker. I think he's got better jiu-jitsu. I think he can wrestle as well. Conley's very, very tough once he gets on the bottom, and he's very heavy down there. But I think someone like Sabatini can blow out of those positions and get back to his feet and just be the better kind of overall fighter. So Pat Sabatini is going to be my pick there. Carl Roberson against Brendan Allen. To me, this is just, and I've heard this with a couple of predictions that I've heard already, if Brendan Allen decides to use a kind of grapple-heavy game plan here, he should comfortably have the opportunity to win the fight, but I'm not so sure in that. I'm seeing some people max betting this guy. I would have thought that in the Sean Strickland fight, when he was getting pieced up, that he maybe tried to look to take the fight to the ground. Didn't really try that and get hurt a little bit. So for me, I'm gonna lean on the Carl Roberson side. I think that if he stops these takedowns, he can pick apart Brendan Allen. I know Brendan Allen's been down at, I think it's Sanford MMA, which is under Henry Hooft, I believe. So you think his striking will start to kind of catch up to what his grappling could be. But if he can get the fight down for long parts of these rounds, 2-3 minutes, you have to think the opportunity to get submissions is going to be there for Brendan Allen. And the fact that he can acclimatise, accumulate, I should say, like top time and control could ultimately win him the fight. So, but I'm going to go with Carl Roberson in this one here. I think that he could get through the early stages, stop some of these takedowns, and ultimately kind of win the fight through there. But like I say, I've not watched all that much on this guy. So, Dwight Grant against Stefan Sekulic. Dwight Grant, big hitter, throws big bombs, gasses easy. If he could just have a little bit of juice kind of in the later part of this fight, I think that he would I think you justify the kind of betting line. He's at, what's the betting line? Minus 275, minus 220. So that's still pretty high. I don't really want to be playing something like that, in all honesty. But like Stefan Sekulic, I think he was out. I think USADA caught him for something. He had an injury beforehand regarding, I think it was one of his legs. And he hurt himself through there. Doesn't really kind of jump out all that much with his kind of skill set. I think if I'm him here, I look to try and tie up Dwight Grant and tire him out. I think in a straight 1-for-1 striking bout, I think the power and the pace and the technique is more on the Dwight Grant side. So I'm going to lean him, but like I say, he could gas out, and especially if Sekulic can maybe tie him up a little bit, maybe win those rounds. The judges have been a little bit kind of fuzzy recently with some bad calls. So I'll take Dwight Grant in that one there. Alex Oliveira against Randy Brown. Another fight I'm going to watch a lot tonight, because I think the betting line on Randy Brown's a little low. I think he should be a little bit higher. In all honesty, I think that he should be in that minus 170 and minus 175 range. So if I see value at minus 140, minus 145, I am going to ultimately kind of take a shot on Randy Brown there. Alex Oliveira's kind of just been fading out recently, and I don't think he's given it his all kind of in the gym, and he's got a lot of outside distractions. That line against Shavkat Rakhmonov when he lost that last fight, I mean, Rakhmonov was a massive underdog. So annoyed that I didn't take the shot there. And I mean, these wins, Max Griffin, I think it's a fairly decent win, honestly. But Peter Sabota is not even in the sport anymore. I just think that Randy Brown's starting to put it all together, and he's fought higher caliber guys, in my opinion. A loss to Vicente Luque isn't a bad look at all. Finishes all of Brian Barberena and Morley Alves. I think he just started to round out. I think it's a good time for Randy Brown to maybe catch Alex Oliveira. I think it's a bad time for Alex Oliveira to maybe catch Randy Brown. So Randy Brown's definitely a bet that I'm kind of looking at potentially for this card. Where are we at? Main card time. Where are we? Anthony Smith against Jimmy Crute. Like I say, I've not watched any fights in this, but I've got the sneaking suspicion that Anthony Smith is live in this spot. And I don't know why, because I've never been a big admirer of kind of Anthony Smith. I like how hard-nosed he is. I think he will fight tough. He will fight for your money. But Jimmy Crute's very raw, barrels forward, throws big power. Only loss, I think, is to Misha Sarkinov. Really good on the ground, really good on his feet. Just an overall good fight, and he's starting to put it all together at 25 now. But this is a big step up from anything I think he's faced, with the toughness of someone like an Anthony Smith who can take a licking and stay in the fight. I kind of think Anthony Smith's a little bit live, but he could also kind of get barreled through a little bit as well. So as a pick, I'll pick Jimmy Crute. I kind of think Anthony Smith's a little bit live. So yeah. Chris Weidman against Uriah Hall. Another one that I've been kind of thinking about quite a bit, because I want Weidman to win. Uriah Hall just kind of, he doesn't rub me up the wrong way, but he's such an awkward guy for you to kind of sit here and root for. If I'm Chris Weidman, you're not standing with this guy. You're looking to get this fight to the ground. You're looking to have top time. You're looking to be on top, control the fight from there, pepper him with some strikes, look for that submission, which I think he's got an advantage down there. Uriah Hall, to be fair, he looks like he's in the best space of his career, at a good camp out there at Fortis MMA with a good head coach. It's starting to round out a little bit. I wasn't impressed with the Anderson Silva win. I thought that Anderson was getting off more than he probably should have in that one. I see the money is coming in on Chris Weidman, but like I say, he fades badly. When he fades badly, he can get hurt late on in fights. He really can, and we've seen that on numerous occasions. I know it's with higher caliber guys like your Jacare and Yoel Romero's where they catch him and stuff, and he was winning those fights in those spots, and then gets caught with something, a destructive shot that completely derails him. And Uriah Hall if he's got open space here and he can land those big shots, he will put Chris Weidman out. So I'm going to edge Uriah Hall there. I think that he could catch Chris Weidman late on in this fight. So I don't know what the props are for third round. I've literally not really looked at lines either. That might be something to look at, but you're getting dog odds on him. I don't think I'm going to play him at that. I like it a little bit more if I was to even think about it. So I'll take the pick as being Uriah Hall there. Valentina Shevchenko against Jessica Andrade. Now, I'm just going to come out and say it, guys. In the 3 title fights, I've got the 3 favourites. I was thinking, I was like, right, where could I kind of move off one of these people here? Like, who's the most live out of Masvidal, Namajunas, and Andrade? And I actually think it is Namajunas out of the 3 of them. But I'm not like kind of taking away from guys who've held belts like Andrade and Masvidal, who's a vet of the sport. But for me, when I see Valentina, like, I just think she's too clean of a fighter to kind of not win this one here. I think she's too good technically. I think she will pick apart. She will pick her shots. I think she will counter strike. She will counter on Jessica Andrade quite easily. And Jessica is going to throw everything into these shots and try to land them. Now, if she lands the big shot, she could hurt Valentina because we've seen that Jessica can put girls down. But Valentina, to me, is just a little bit below Amanda Nunes, in my opinion. There's not much between them, in my opinion, honestly. We've seen a little bit of kind of chink in the armor last time against Jennifer Maia when she lost the round, got taken down. But she still won that one very, very comfortably there. I expect her to do the same here. I actually expect her to kind of start picking apart Jessica in the mid part of this fight and really taking over. It's whether she kind of pushes herself to get the finish. But Valentina is the win there, for the win there. Weili Zhang against Rose Namajunas. Like I say, this one's very interesting because I've got a bet on Usman and Weili Zhang, which is, I think I've got them for -109, which I don't think is bad odds for 2 people that have got a very good chance to win the fight. But out of the 3 challengers, I think Rose is the most live out of the 3 challengers. She is... I like it. I love her jab. I love her footwork. I love her shot selection with her hands. I like it. Like I say, her footwork is fantastic. And under the tutelage of Trevor Whitman, I think she's just a very well put together fighter. Mentally, I've always worried about her. She's had some spots where she's bringing dogs to weigh-ins and to like fight week and stuff, and mentally not been in. She's been through some rough stuff, to be fair to the girl. I don't think she's made this week any easier with herself and what she's saying regarding Zhang and China and communism and stuff. That's not a good look. Weili Zhang's coming off probably one of the best fights ever against Joanna Jędrzejczyk, where I'll be honest, when that fight ended, I thought Joanna won that fight. Went back and watched it. I still think that Joanna's got a case for winning that fight. I know I bet Joanna Jędrzejczyk in that spot, but I think it could have went either way. I can see why they probably gave it to Weili Zhang with that massive alien forehead that JJ had. But I think that it really came down to that 5th round. I thought JJ had a shot. They gave it to Weili Zhang. It is what it is. And this one here, I think that there's going to be spots in this fight where I think she's going to be out hitting kind of the speed maybe of Namajunas might be a little bit for her, just the raw technique. But I think Weili Zhang's got the destructive shots where when she starts landing, and you've seen that Rose starts to kind of take damage a little bit more now. Andrade was beating her up in that 3rd round. That if she lands a couple of sustainable shots, you're going to start to see the kind of wear and tear on her. And does she want that scrap in the middle part of this fight? The thing that we've seen with Zhang is she can go 5 hard now. She can, I think she had a rough weight cut from what I hear in there. That was a weird card because she was flying to like Thailand, flying to, I think it was Abu Dhabi or Dubai, into America, having a tough weight cut. So it'll be a little bit easier this time. I just think her sheer brutality is going to show its kind of head in the middle part of this fight, and I think she's going to hurt Rose Namajunas, can potentially get out of there. So I've got Weili Zhang. I've got it -188 in that parlay. Up next, rematch, George Masvidal against Kamaru Usman. I got Usman, at -400. I hate playing chalk like that, but I think it's here. It's justified. Now, we've seen this fight, and I've been thinking to myself, right, how is this fight going to be any different from the first one? Of course, Masvidal stepped in there on 6 days' notice. I think something as well that's not been mentioned is Mike Brown caught COVID. He couldn't go out there. I think he's one of the best game planners we have in the sport now. And having a full camp, obviously, I think is obviously more beneficial to George, because he can get himself ready for what's going to come from Usman. But I think in the time that they had that fight, which was only like 9 months ago, I think Usman's went up another level, in my opinion. I think his destruction of Gilbert Burns didn't start the fight off too great, got hit with a shot that kind of wobbled him. And that's probably Masvidal's greatest opportunity to win this one, is doing the exact same what Burns did, but getting him out of there. Usman is like, it's so serious to watch his progression. And I'm just kind of going off memory because I've watched no fights regarding this, but like you see his last fight, he's got that jab, but he's got it off both hands, destructive leg kicks. We know he's got the wrestling there. He can grind the life out of you. I'm just thinking, right, how does Masvidal go about this here? Does he catch him with a big shot? Could he stop more takedowns? Now, I think he probably could, but I think that Usman he's too good. I just cannot see Masvidal having a UFC belt, like a legit UFC belt around his waist, and beating a guy like Usman, who's like seriously pushing himself into some of the all-time greats. If he continues what he's doing, they're talking about Colby's going to be up next. That's an interesting fight. I think that's his hardest fight in the division. So yeah, I'm on the Usman side. I just think he's looking for a finish here. Masvidal is not the easiest guy to get out of there. I still think he wins a decision. I think he wins pretty comfortably. He might lose a round here or whatever, but I think that he's pretty comfortable in that spot there. But -400, I don't like the number, but I can see why it is. But I thought him and Zhang together at -109 was fairly decent. I've seen some people throw Valentina in there. I could have probably got plus money, but 3-leg parlay is not really for me all that much unless I'm super, super confident. So, yeah, that's my quick picks, guys. I don't know how long I've been on here. It's not exactly quick, 22 minutes. I'm going to get back at it next week. I'll get back to watching fights, kind of a little bit longer predictions, and I can actually see what I'm watching instead of these Chinese guys at the front there. So, yeah, for some of these guys here that are coming in late, just to let you know, like I say, if you don't follow me on Twitter, I'm going to be a dad again. So things might be out a little bit later. They might not be out as quick as you would like. I like to try and get out Mondays, but like I say, with my missus not being overly well, and I've got a 4-year-old, and then I've got this baby on the way in October. I've got a lot and working all the time. I've got a lot on my plate. So I am going to try and get these predictions out for you as I do week in, week out. But yeah, life's kind of getting in the way, and like, I mean, it's a good thing having a kid, but I need to keep it real with you guys. I need to try and keep these predictions coming out because you guys show me so much love, in my opinion. So you guys are great. So Cowboy was an underdog in his last fight. He was, but the betting line opened like Rachmanov was an absolute massive. Like I think I seen plus 165 tickets on him, and he got bet down to where he was the favourite. TJ Kill there. What's my boy Moy saying? Crute will follow the Rakic game plan, possibly. Thomas, what's happening? I'm very, very good. Thank you, mate. Congratulations on the Dern pick. I remember that from a couple of weeks ago. I see Weidman going to what Masasi did, possibly. What's up, Brian? Weidman is winning until he loses, and Hall is always losing until he wins. That's true. Brown got COVID last time, yeah. So, guys, there we go. Like I say, quick picks. I've not looked into this card all that much at all. Apologise again for missing last week. Daniel, thank you very much. Much appreciated. I'm really looking forward to this baby coming. I really am. I love being a dad. Best thing in the world for me is being a dad and having the opportunity to do it again. If you guys were around long enough, 2014, I was supposed to be a dad. lost my kid. Really kind of changed my life and how I thought about things. So I have the opportunity. I've got my one kid now, and to have another opportunity to have my third one, it's a big, big deal to me. So thank you very much. I'm going to be back next week, guys, with a bang. Catch me out. Catch me kind of early next week. But until then, guys, all the very, very best. Take care. Enjoy the pay-per-view. And I mean, this is weird. Actually, I forgot to mention they're in the big cage. That's an interesting thing. I never really thought about that until now. So, yeah. Enjoy the card when it comes around. All the very, very best. I've been rambling on a little bit here, but it's great to be back. All the best. Take care, guys, and enjoy.